Thousands of stories, thousands of supposed sightings. Do big cats like panthers stalk the forest of Mississippi? Well, state officials say there is not enough evidence to support whatever it is people say that they are seeing. And tonight's Mystery Monday, Jacob Kittilstad goes on the hunt for answers when it comes to big cats.
Some people have seen tracks in the mud. Others swear their animals are spooked, but most common are the calls.
I knew what it was that I'd been hearing here. It sounds like a woman screaming.
Dan Wilkes is a believer. He says he has seen a panther in Warren County, estimating its body was 5 feet long, with the tail adding another 4 feet to its length.
I was sitting in a combine and had a good vantage point, and this big cat, probably 50 yards from us, took off and ran to our left.
We got a farmer across the street there that's got cows and stuff out there, and the way the picture's showing with my camera set up, it's like it was coming from that away. Everybody mud rides down there.
Ricky Brown says he has proof of these supposed big cats. He lives on Grange Hall Road near Vicksburg. Judge for yourself. This is a picture he caught on a trail cam about 2 weeks ago. He says it was in broad daylight right by a dugout mud hole.
It's pretty good size. It's bigger than a dog, got some big feet, little short pointed ears, and look like his tail's got a few stripes on it, but it's dark.
I've received more phone calls about panther sightings than any other story I've ever done. The Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries and Parks, however, takes a different view. In a statement from an agency spokesperson, most physical evidence sent to the MDWFP is later identified as remains of large feral cats or other animals. Our biologists have not confirmed any panthers or cougars are in Mississippi. That may be the official explanation, but it's not enough to change Dan Wilkes' mind.
Everybody accepts it. Everybody knows it.
Although his sighting was 15 years ago, Wilkes says he'll never forget what was before his eyes.
You know, it's not a deer, it's not a bobcat. You go through the list mentally, you know, within the first half second, and you know without a doubt it's a large cat.
Exploring the unexplained on Mystery Monday, Jacob Kittilstad, News Channel 12.
Well, if you'd like to share your sightings or other ideas for Mystery Monday, email mystery. It's at WJTV.com.
80 years ago this month, prohibition ended in the United States.
Well, the ban alcohol era is all but forgotten in parts of Brookhaven, where a monument survives even today for the whiskey runners of the time.
Jacob Kittilstad explores what's called Lincoln County's Moonshine Hub this Mystery Monday.
And I just moved here about 8 years ago. They used to call it the old coffee pot. That's all I know.
But it's a good way to describe where you stay. I mean, a lot of people ask where I stay, and I can just describe that and they'll know where I stay.
The wooden percolator, standing 5 feet tall, overlooks Brookhaven's First Street.
They think it was just a little cafe.
James Calhoun,
Everybody in the world knows me as Jim.
owns a car yard nearby. He says it was his uncle, Seymour Boone, who put the scheme together around the 1930s.
Built that coffee pot for an outlet to the moonshine whiskey that he sold. That's true. That was the purpose of building the building. He'd go in a little 35 Ford coupe. He would load the trunk of the thing up, and even in the back seat, full of 15-gallon wooden barrels. That's how he got his whiskey, in little 15-gallon wooden barrels. Bring them back here and pour it out into glass containers and sell it here. There wasn't a lot of money. Back then, you could buy a quart of whiskey for $1.
Between Kiln and Brookhaven, he'd haul the bootleg whiskey. Liquor stores simply did not exist, older neighbors say. And in true whiskey runner fashion, this story has a tragic ending.
He was on 51, going south toward the Boga Chitter. And between Brookhaven and Boga Chitter, he got in an accident there. He ran head on into another car. They brought Uncle Seymour to the hospital here in Brookhaven, and he lived about a week till he died. And the fella that hit him was not hurt badly. And he made them promise on his deathbed that they would not prosecute this man. He said, I sold him the whiskey that caused him to get drunk and caused him running to do not and they didn't prosecute him.
So what happens now? The coffee pot is still standing, but the exact future of this building is still unknown, while its past remains a mystery for many people living in Brookhaven.
You didn't go there for coffee, definitely not.
Exploring the unexplained on Mystery Monday, Jacob Kittilstad, News Channel 12.
Well, if you associate the iconic building with the Caruth family, who were longtime owners, well, they say this information is new to them. They want to make sure their strict Baptist ancestors' names are cleared.
That's where my mother met my father. They had curb service. They had a nice restaurant for hamburgers. I ate a mini hamburger there, and I know that my family wasn't involved in bootlegging. I don't think.
Welcome back, everyone. Dirt, earth, power. These words could have been interchangeable in certain situations in the lives of native mound building cultures. Look at Mississippi. The Natchez people have left their mark, but the purpose of the sacred hills is still not fully understood. Jacob Kittilstad visits the grand village of the Natchez Indians on this Mystery Monday.
Built basket by basket, archaeologists theorize the 9-foot-tall hills rise from flat, sacred ground. But their existence, going back hundreds of years, can never be fully explained.
Mound building was a lot like a canary in the coal mine situation, where almost as soon as Europeans appeared in the Western Hemisphere, mound building stopped.
Jim Barnett works for the Mississippi Department of Archives and History, and he is based at the Grand Village of the Natchez Indians. That's where other historians look to piece together the lives of mound-building cultures.
Here at the Grand Village, we have eyewitness accounts of funeral events and ceremonial events that were never seen anywhere else and were never seen again after this site was abandoned. We have 3 mounds here at the site. Mound A, which is a kind of a mystery mound. It was abandoned by the Natchez and was not in use during the colonial period.
But why were they built? Some archaeologists describe a construction sequence. A building is used, burned, and the land only reused after being buried, possibly to lock in a sacred power. In Natchez, it's speculated these mounds were created after repeating that process 4 or 5 times, and that's not all.
Whole areas were leveled and rearranged landscape-wise by this hand labor. Today, what we see are piles of earth. They saw something completely different.
What you see now are actually mounds reformed after workers in the 1930s went ahead with early drastic research projects. Today, it would never be done, so this area could stay preserved, and it's likely questions will never be fully answered about their creation and why it stopped.
And it stopped so quickly that it's really hard to believe, because as I said, it was carried on for thousands of years. People were moving dirt. That was part of their lives, and suddenly it stopped.
Exploring the unexplained on Mystery Monday, Jacob Kittilstad, News Channel 12.
Well, we are looking for more stories to feature on Mystery Monday. Do you have any ideas? Well, send it to mystery@wjtv.com and you might see that story on the air.